thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a buying, at least in no beamer. I'm buying no kind of driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way and the way I've been made it. The is mad, man in them bag cause I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin. Out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like. She was on vacation. We was on roll like tires. Where we gon' I'm in my bag like. I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. This is taken at his 4th. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive. Just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go, 47. Coming now.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Second down, Prescott. Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Good. Switch. 26. Hey, 47. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return, and the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, boys, here we go. Jumbo, jumbo.
Play action. Stafford steps away. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Stafford. Flushed out right. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Ezekiel Ansah in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Here you go. Here we go, 46. 46.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
47. Here we go, 46, 46. 47. 26.
The give is to Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
46. 26. Done. 46.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got it. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game.
26. 26.
Now Elliott. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one down the line of scrimmage.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
26.
Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Hey, Sean Robinson able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 22. Hey, tag 32. Tag 32.
They'll run it here with Blount. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Macklin, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Blunt. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Big 20, big 20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the running game as well.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A good pick up there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Then we're going to 52. Here we go, 46. 46.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go, kill. Here we go, 26. Done. 26.
Now Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And now running right through it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 15 and a first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Austin's got it left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here go 46. 41 to the left. Switch, 26.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because
looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Prescott now, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Glover Quinn, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Out to the flat for Riddick. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Monday. Light. 21. Hey, Red. Hey, go here. 21. Hey, 54. Hey, 57. Ready.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Austin. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about Hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there.
To throw is Prescott. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Blunt, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. LeGarrette Blunt as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are in for 6. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department, as this remains a 6-3 score. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken near the 13th. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Final play of the half, Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a carry for Blount. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here you go. Hey, 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. 3rd down here.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Austin. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Here we go, going to 53. Here we go. 41 to the left.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing, Prescott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
26. Here we go, 46.
Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And barely able to knock it through. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground here with Blount. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Big 20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking deep here for Macklin. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
26. 47. 26.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here come the Lions now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll begin here with Blount. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Go here. Light.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wilson's got it complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And they'll go on the ground. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
22. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Looking left side. That's caught by Macklin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Stafford, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
We're going to 54. Why?
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5. Second down, Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The first down carry by Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
A second down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A give to Elliott. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Prescott. Man open left side, it's Williams. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Prescott going to come up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Prescott from the gun. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Here we go, 47. Here we go, 47. 26. Then we're going to 53.
This is Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out.
That allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Stafford now to throw. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines. But then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them in bounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin, and that'll make it third down. Here's Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. First throw in overtime for Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Keeps himself upright. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Macklin, the man he was looking for. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
It's coming now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they're working inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Then we're going to 53. Then we're 47. Then we're 46. 26.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on in the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get to their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to EA Sports.